STMK Radio 100.
Computer and smart device. Progress never stops, and neither do you. You need to hear the latest news, commentary, and interviews. Download the free app with your all-access subscription and stream every Progress show no matter where you are. Anywhere, anytime. We're here. Active, essential, progressive, Sirius XM Progress.
Stop the madness. Keep it 100. The best talk show on the web is here on STMK Radio 100 with your hosts, Shawn L, Let, and Tone the Stone. Come join us from 6 to 8 p.m. Mondays through Fridays. Stop the madness. Keep it 100 with live call-ins, heated discussions about current events, politics, national news, weather, and sports. Join our live online chat room and let your opinion show. Download our phone app. Stop the madness. Keep it 100 on STMK Radio 100. Come join us from 6 to 8 p.m. Mondays through Fridays. The best talk show on the web is here on STMK Radio 100. Call us at 1-866-484-7865. That's 1-866-484-STMK. Stop the madness. Keep it 100.
You're listening to Stop the Madness, Keep It 100 with your host, Shawn L, Let, and Tone the Stone on STMK Radio 100, 100, 100.
Yes, this is a PSA, a public street announcement. You are now listening to a kickback production. Light up your L's, lean back, and listen.
Speaking up for what's right. Helping out when things go wrong. Raising our voices alone or together. Not just breaking news, but breaking barriers. Fighting for victory on the battlefield and on the playing field. Seeing the world through new eyes and the earth from miles above. Redefining beauty, brains, and what it really means to be queen. Making ourselves heard on stage and on screen. Showing the way in Silicon Valley. And showing up for others wherever help is needed most. Not just making our mark, but making a difference. Now that's a job for a Girl Scout. Girl Scouts, preparing girls for a lifetime of leadership.
You're listening to Stop the Madness, Keep It 100 on STMK Radio 100, 100, 100, 100.
Hey, welcome to Free Fall Thursday. And I'm your host, Shawn L with Stop the Madness, Keep It 100. First of all, we want to thank our 43 cities that's sitting there with us: Savannah, Jacksonville, Atlanta. We're going to be there next week, and we're going to be live at the Peachtree Road Race. And then you're going to see us at a show in Olympic Park in downtown Atlanta. In Studio 51, I got my main man, Tone the Stone, the Cleveland Diamond Boy. What's up, Tone the Stone?
What up, Shawn? What's up, everybody, all the listeners out there? Welcome to another episode of Stop the Madness, Keep It 100.
You know, Tone, we got so much going on, everybody, and I want to thank everybody because today will be our last show in the city of Cleveland for the summer. Then we're going to take this show on the road, and then we're going on vacation, and you can get us on demand in the air. And then when we come back, we're going to be starting season 4 off with a bang. We're going to be talking about a lot of issues, especially the issues like right here, Tone the Stone. The city of Euclid right now is in turmoil, and everybody has to understand this. Michael Amiyot was never found to be in violation of the Euclid's use of force policy, Tone. And the city fired him. The arbitrator ruled the city violated his rights. We've been talking about changing some of those rulings by statutory laws made because the cities can make their own laws. And now city officials has had appointed a special prosecutor. And that's what everybody's talking about right now. But I want everybody to just sit back for a minute and think about this. We went from a civil rights violation, which carried a maximum of 10 years in federal prison, down to a felonious assault, which carried 7 to 15 years in state prison. Now down to a misdemeanor assault, okay, which if he even pleads guilty to, he can go into the first offenders program, never have a record that this ever happened, and still keeps his job because the assault, due to the fact it wasn't a family member, it can't be classified as a domestic violence, so he can still carry a gun. This is outrageous, and I want everybody to understand it. This is outrageous, and I'm not saying it's outrageous because we went through all this. I said it's outrageous because our public officials keep playing games with the community. Okay, the Department of Justice came in. The Euclid NAACP asked the Department of Justice for help recently to come in and review the police department for the use of force policy. Well, the Department of Justice already came in and looked at AMIAC. Okay, and they ruled that AMIAC didn't violate nobody's constitutional rights. They wasn't going to prosecute. Okay? And anybody who thinks that Trump's administration is going to come into a city and investigate white police officers for violating people of color's rights when he's doing this every day in Texas and at the border, and they just fooling themselves and lying to everybody else, okay? And the organizations that we know of, I'm not gonna call their names out because, but I'm saying the black organizations have to stop lying to the communities and be front for what's going on. No more photo ops, no more headlines. Amyot is the classic headline. When he got fired, all you seen was everybody's pictures there. When he got hired back, you didn't see nobody. Now, once the judge ruled that and the arbitrator ruled that he's going to get his job back with back pay, how you going to stand on the steps of City Hall and ask people to reviolate his rights and ask them to fire him when you know that he can't fire him, okay? Now, the county prosecutor and the sheriff department, they reviewed this case. They didn't even tell the people that they was done reviewing the case and they wasn't going to prosecute or present it to a grand jury. That's outrageous. Okay? Then you come back into the thing, the city officials in Euclid, they're getting ready to face an election. So what do? They don't want to be held accountable for Amiot's actions or be held accountable for Amiot not being dealt with. So what do? They go out and get a special prosecutor. Now, we just did a check on this special prosecutor, and he's a lawyer, okay? And he agrees with police officers 99.9% of the time. And he represents police officers, and he represents unions for police officers. Now, you tell me where his ruling's going to go, okay? I'm serious about this, folks, okay? So I want everybody in Euclid to understand this. Tell me where his ruling going to go. I can tell you right now what's getting ready to happen, okay? You heard it first, so Stop the Madness, Keep It 100, like you did when we talked to Damian Parker and Dr. Richard Montgomery III. Michael Amiot is going to be found justified in his use of force, and he's going to go on with his employment in the city of Euclid, okay? Now, you'd have made him better. Now, he knows he got to cross his I's and his T's. He knows that if he makes a mistake, that they're going to hang him, okay? So now he's going to walk that fine line, but he's not going to be prosecuted. And even if he did, let's say that the special prosecutor come back and say, we're going to prosecute him. He's going to go before the same judge who refused to issue the warrant, who said that nobody could prove that he committed a crime or violated somebody's rights. Come on, people. Stop slapping fives and putting it all over your Facebook page and taking credit for Michael Amiot being a special prosecutor being appointed there. Nothing's going to happen with that. Tone, what you think about that?
I mean, from what you're saying, it sounds like a waste of a bunch of people's time and money. Like, if why even? I mean, I know why they do it. They got to go through the formalities, but based on what you just said about this guy siding with police 99% of the time and representing police and police unions, it sounds like a formality that we could all be spared of because it's going to be just a waste of time and money as far as what it sounds like. I'm just kind of I'm upset that that people, however, whoever, in all these different cases. I mean, all these different situations pertaining to Amiot, they saying he's justified in what he did. That's upsetting. Like if you look at the same videos as everybody else, like
Well,
that's a slap in the face to
right,
say
but
he's justified.
see, you know what, Tone, I might have to say this, okay? Now, I mean, you always talk about this before. When Hubbard and him got into that incident, okay, Amiot did what was known as ground to ground fighting, okay. The problem here is not that they trying to say Amiot is justified in the thing. Euclid policy justifies them. Okay. See, this is the problem, right? It's not that Amiot's justified in his use of force because he was much stronger than that young man. He could have took that young man down, rolled him over, cuffed him without ground pounding him. Okay. Now everybody knows it don't look good on video. Okay. Well, I'm gonna say this. Okay. It don't look good on video, and he could have did it very easy, but that he didn't want to do it that way. That was his thing. He knew that he was legally within his rights as a law enforcement officer. When Hubbard pulled from him getting out of the car, that justified him moving and doing what he wanted to do. And his goals was to beat this young man into the ground. Period. Okay? It wasn't I'm going to arrest him and throw him down and arrest him. It was I'm going to show this boom boom. Okay? I'm the police and I'm going to beat him in the ground. Okay? Now he didn't expect the outpour of what happened because nobody never did anything to him or about him when he had his 6 prior use of force cases. Okay? So everybody must understand that. Okay. Now the law is on his side because this is the way Euclid is classifying it. Euclid's classifying that the first 3 punches was okay and legally within their rules. It wasn't until the 4th and 5th punch that they say is excessive. Okay. Well, we just went through that with Brelo. Okay. When Brelo fired 3 17-round clips into a car, killing 2 individuals. Okay. Now, when he reloaded for his last clip, if you remember, the grand jury and everybody zeroed in on Brelo, and they try to say that when Brelo reloaded, he should have disengaged and that it was too much. It was done. Okay. But what did the jury and everybody come back and the judge and everybody said? No. If Brelo was justified in standing on that car firing the first round, just the first round, the other 47 rounds does not matter. Okay, because who's going to tell him in the heat of a combat situation or heat of the moment that this is calm and you got to disengage? You can't do it. And this is what I was telling everybody last week. Remember, we was talking about this. Trying to govern a police officer in the performance of his duties is hard. It's virtually impossible. And this is why officers are walking away. Darren Brown, okay? Look at Eric Gardner, Tamir Rice. I mean, I can name over 200 cases, and they all ruled the same. I can go back to 1994 and Jeffrey Bell in the city of East Cleveland with a black city, black prosecutor, black police officer, same thing, okay? You cannot regulate that. This is why I was telling everybody, and we're going to talk about this, and I want everybody to come out to the NAACP Euclid Youth Branch panel on police accountability and learn the 5 laws that govern police conduct and what's going on. So you need to know what you're facing. And that's going to be at 4415 Northfield Road, Warrensville Heights, Ohio, 44128 from 2 to 4:30 p.m. July 13th. Come on out with Tone Stone and us. We're going to be sitting there. The panel's going to be live. I think we got the chief prosecutor from the city of Cleveland. We're going to have a couple of judges there, a couple of lawyers, and myself is going to be on the panel. And I'm not pulling no punches with everybody. I'm calling everybody out. And I do this because I want everybody to know that police accountability starts with the community, okay? With the community. If you want police accountability, you can have it within 90 days. And I say 90 days, and can't nobody correct because you know why? They got lead paint passed in 90 days. Okay? And I got a problem with that, Tony. You know we was in that group when they were talking about that lead paint. See, I got a problem with that, and I really do have a problem with that because the activists can go out and get a petition signed to get enough signatures to put this on a ballot. And remember, they was talking to me about registering the people voting. They wasn't gonna call them out or nothing, but they can get with Jeff Johnson and all these people and get signatures for lead paint to put on the ballot. Okay, then they take it to council and threaten council, if you don't make this law, we're going to put it on the ballot and vote for it. Lead paint now. Of all the crime we have with hundreds of young black males dying every day in our city streets, of all the carjackings of young black males carjacking people and beating people and robbing people and ladies being raped and serial killers and police officers misconduct with kids being killed in the park and all Amiot and all this going on, we can get a petition signed and in 90 days get a law passed for lead paint. Now, either we fucked up, I'm gonna have to say this, it's us. It's us. Our elected officials in Cleveland knew that they was gonna get money in their coffers. They knew that the business people was gonna get monies in their coffers. To get a certificate, you're gonna have to pay anywhere from $450 to $1,000 to get a lead-free paint certificate if you want to rent your property. That's $1,000 out of black people's and homeowners' pockets. If your house come back lead, it could cost up to $20,000 to get it right. Okay. So they're going to tax the people in the community. We don't have housing as it is. Okay. What's this going to do is make a lot of people just mortgage their house and walk away from it. This is going to be a big problem because I can't afford $20,000 to get this house up to date. I can't rent the house. I can't keep the house. I might as well mortgage it out, file bankruptcy, and walk away from it. Okay? Especially if I live out in Mayfield, Lyndhurst. Why am I going to come in the city of Cleveland and spend that type of money? Okay? And I understand people talking about lead paint and this, but we got bigger problems, folks. We got bigger problems. What about the police misconduct? Okay? Why couldn't we got a petition signed for officers like Michael Amiot and change the law to hold them accountable for the way they treat black people? Okay? Think about that. But I want everybody to tell me in the chat room, lead paint versus police officers' misconduct violating people's rights.
Well, we gotta take every victory we can get.
But
I get what you're saying,
no,
but you know we gotta
so
take every one we can get.
I can understand
that is something
okay.
that needs to be addressed. You know, the
Right,
lead paint presents
right.
a danger. It's a hazard. You know, and
What's a more hazard? Lead paint affected somebody 17 years down the road, or somebody like Michael Amiot pulling somebody over, beating the hell out of them out of the street.
yeah, the police misconduct is probably more urgent or more directly, but more directly affecting us every day, or not directly affecting us, but more directly in our face every day. But you know, the lead paint is something that needs to be addressed as well, especially if you know if
Okay,
it's
what about our crime?
prolonged effects. No, I'm saying if it's prolonged effects, like and people are exposed to this since infancy, then yeah, by the time they're 16, 17 years old, maybe they are a little wackos.
Wait a
So
minute,
maybe,
I can agree with that. I can even agree with the lead paint legislation. Okay, but I think that's number 200 on the list.
yeah, but
Okay.
we got you know,
But see, no,
we
no,
gotta
no,
get anyone
no,
we
no,
can
no,
get.
no, no.
We
See,
got
but
we gotta address all the
wait,
other
wait a
ones.
minute, that's
but
that's
we
the
can
problem.
check that off the list.
Wait a
now.
minute, that's
know?
the problem. That's the problem. We are willing to accept anything our elected officials give us, and we're willing to accept what we can get. Hell no. What
Well, I
we
thought
should
you said that the you know the activists spearheaded this
right,
movement.
the activists and Jeff Johnson, but the city council was going to do it anyway.
Okay.
Okay? My problem with this is, and this is what I want everybody to zero in on. My problem is that our elected officials can make a law on lead paint, but cannot make a law on police misconduct. Our active officials can have hearings on lead paint, but cannot have one hearing on police misconduct.
I think they have hearings on police misconduct.
No, not
they
our
can
council.
make a law, but they don't want to enforce it. Like
Wait,
they don't want to.
The review board is not your elected officials in your council. Okay, the dissent panel that everybody goes to, That's a panel that a judge in the Department of Justice came in and sit up with the union and them. And that's like me and you sitting here arguing right now over lead paint versus what's going on in the community. Okay, unless a certain number of people on that panel agree, ain't nothing they're doing going to go nowhere. Okay, I'm talking about elected officials at City Hall in our council, our all-black council. Okay, seeing that lead paint was more important than the 142 complaints that the Cleveland police officers have of misconduct, the 5,000 complaints that are backlogged.
Or maybe they just felt like it was the easiest one to knock off. You know, like it was the easiest one to settle.
Wait a minute. There you go again, Tom. See, this is the problem, Tom. You want to give them a pass, and you want to
No, you don't get a pass. I'm saying
that's like
it's an issue that needs to be addressed.
But that's like,
if we could get that one out the way quick and easy, let's get it out the way. And then let's also address the bigger fish.
So if Trump put us in a war right now, okay, and he talking about what you want to, either a war or we're going to get health care. So everybody go ahead and let them start the war with Iran like they're going to do. And they're more worried about health care for their voters, okay? Now we're talking about thousands of kids going to die, okay, versus us paying a little more for health care. Come on, our elected officials are responsible to make...
No, but see, that's not how it works. As far as I can tell, like all of these issues, there are people, like all of these issues exist at the same time. And there are people who focus is this issue, and there are people who focus is that issue.
And we can walk and chew again at the same time.
So all of these issues, I mean, they're all being addressed, you know, in some form or some capacity or another at the same time. Like ones like this
Black Lives Matter,
this lead paint issue. Maybe that was just easier to resolve.
It was easy to resolve because it's money.
Okay.
But do we want something easy to resolve? See, this is where I'm going to with this for people. This is where I'm going with this. So well, hold on, because we right here. Young black males, unarmed young black males, are being killed and assaulted daily. Okay, daily. Misconduct is being reported daily. Okay, so. Is it for our elected officials to take the easy road out and allow this to continue to happen? Because if we allow them to do this, Tone, this is what I'm saying. If we keep allowing them to turn a blind eye and to walk away from it, the community's never going to stand up and take that fight. Just like on Saturday, July 13th, we're talking about how to get around the 5 Supreme Court rulings that are allowing officers to use such force, okay, and how to regulate their conduct prior to them getting into that shooting or getting into that traffic stop or getting to that. Like Amiot, if the law was put in place holding supervisors responsible for being derelict of their duties or incompetent in their duties and firing the supervisor, because somebody got to get fired, guess what? Amiot would have never been on the streets of the city of Euclid, okay? He had he had 5, maybe 6 prior use of force cases of hitting somebody in the head with his 9mm on a traffic stop that he didn't arrest, slamming a 14-year-old girl and dragging her across the floor in a library, beating on people, violating people's rights, walking into their houses without warrants and everything else.
Yeah, he should have been off the job.
Okay, but listen to what I'm saying. So, if that law that we're trying to tell people where you got to think out the box and where you got to do it, the community got to do it. It started in your backyard. If that law would have been in effect, Amiot wouldn't have been out there to even do that traffic stop with Hubbard. Okay, so think about this. The Euclid officials got Amiot in a problem right now with Amiot. This is where I want everybody to look, because I see Tony ain't caught on to what I said yet. So think about this. Amiot situation right now. The Euclid officials right now got Amiot full blown, and instead of dealing with Amiot situation, they pass a lead paint ordinance and say, here you go.
Wait, is that Euclid or is that Cleveland? I thought that was Cleveland.
It don't make a difference. I just said Cleveland has the same problem Euclid has.
Right.
Okay.
But this is the thing, though. See, I mean, you said initially this conversation started. You saying that we could pass the legislation
In 90 days.
in 90 days to take care of police misconduct and
Right.
police brutality.
Because if you could do it with lead paint,
No, that's way different.
how come it's way different?
Because first of all, the city it's complex, right? So
Why, the city's scared of the police unions?
they might be, but what they're scared of most is paying out. See, they're weighing right now. They might pay a couple $100,000 to a cop that got fired unjustly compared to $1 million lawsuits.
We paying them anyway.
But they not. But it's
No,
it's
wait,
pennies on the dollar.
wait, no, it's not.
They're
Wait,
balancing it out.
Wait a minute.
They might pay a cop a few $100,000 to bring him back on the job compared to millions of dollars they might have to pay somebody who gets beat up by a cop and wins in court.
Frank Jackson is paying all lawsuits. They gave Samira Rice's mother $6 million. They've been paying $500 or more, $100,000 or more for police misconduct.
Yeah, for the few cases that
right, and it's a lot of cases, a lot. When you add up, Chicago paid over $240 million in police misconduct cases. Okay, if you sit down and pass laws and catch these individuals before they get out there for those cases, you ain't got to pay that money out.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that not only should some type of law, something needs to be put into effect to start holding these officers responsible, and not only responsible for their act and their misconduct and getting fired, but once they're fired, any compensation should come out of all their life savings. They should pay all that. They should feel the full burden of their
any lawsuit. I say any lawsuit that the city has to pay out, they should have to pay compo instead of city telling them to file bankruptcy and the taxpayers.
They should lose everything to really learn from the error of their ways.
Because if you look at Euclid's situation, Michael Amiot's going to walk away from this with a clean hand. The city of Euclid taxpayers is going to be on a hook for about $200,000 because they're going to have to pay that girl $100,000 that got arrested and then they had to drop the case, and they're going to have to pay Hubbard $1,000. Now the guy that was driving with no driver's license, under suspension, breaking the law, now he's going to get $100,000. Okay, because they never allow Amiot to go into court to justify his actions. That's what they should have did. Now I'm talking about Euclid. I ain't talking about nothing else. Because if I'd have been the mayor, Amiot would have went into court and won that case, okay, or lost that case. If he lost the case, then that even gives me more grounds to terminate him because now the court has ruled that his actions were outside of the boundaries of his law. Okay? Now Euclid's in court doing a double dip here. They talking about qualified immunity, that the city has qualified immunity and they cannot be sued because Amiot was actually operating under the color of law. But on the other hand over here, they fired Amiot for the activists, okay, and they done got a special prosecutor because they're in the middle of an election. And this is what I'm saying about the city of Euclid, okay? These are elected officials that don't want to be held accountable for the way they handled Amiot's situation. So they got Tone to come in out the clear blue sky. He's going to clear Amiot, and they're going to say, well, we tried. Okay? And everybody's going to sit there and say, yeah, they tried. And in reality, they didn't try nothing. They just covered their rump. Because the chief should be fired for having him out there with 6 incidents like that. Okay? The mayor should at least, because she's the safety director too, she probably pulling, the chief should be at least replaced. The civil service officers you can't do nothing with because ain't nothing in place there. Maybe some captains need to be demoted. Okay? Somebody should have to pay a price for the taxpayers' money that has to be paid out for their malfeasance. Okay? And that's what I'm saying about with police accountability and back to the lead paint. Is that if we can pass, if our city officials can pass lead paint legislation and get petitions signed to put it on the ballot, we can do police accountability like that. Because guess what? We got an election coming up. Put 5 laws on it, just like the state did if you go back to when the police officers and everybody came, Senate Bill 5, people, that's what it's called, Senate Bill 5. Senate Bill 5 took their union and cut their union up, same way like I said, no binding arbitration. You can only negotiate wages and working conditions. No discipline, nothing else. That's what Senate Bill 5 did. The state legislation passed Senate Bill 5. Okay. Now, what did the FOP and all them do? They wouldn't got signatures. They wrote legislation, and they put it on the ballot to appeal Senate Bill 5. And then they came to you, the same people they was abusing, the same activists, the same Democrats who's pro-union, the same one Trump tell you you don't have nothing to lose, but we're going to hold Hillary to a higher standard, okay? And they got you to vote down and vote out Senate Bill 5. And then Mayor Jackson, who is a Democrat, came back and put the teachers on the Senate Bill 5, okay? Merit pay and all those, and he can hire and fire them at will, okay? But they didn't do police. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. The activists and the community is going to have to get up, go in the backyard, put their hands in the dirt. Hey, and we're going to have to fight. Okay, because if we can get a petition signed and get lead paint in 90 days, you can get that police reform you're looking at in 90 days. And I don't want to hear about the union when people talking about, oh, the union's going to come out. What you care if the unions come out against you? Do you rather the unions come out against you or young black males getting killed in the street? Okay, that's the choice that has to be made right here. Okay, because nobody's coming to save us, Tone. I tell everybody that, especially you're gonna see on the 13th in July at that forum. Nobody's coming to save us.
Yeah, we got to save
Okay,
ourselves. Right.
nobody. If you waiting for the Department of Justice, Trump DOJ coming in, you got a thing coming. They won't even prosecute Trump's cronies. They investigating the investigators right now. They're trying to figure out a way to turn this around so all them can come back in, because they know that if Trump gets reelected 4 more years, it's game over. I'm just going to have to say it. It's game over, okay? He has put 105 judges on the federal court in lifetime positions. And if you look at the Supreme Court in 2016, we told everybody, you got to come out and vote. Hillary, okay, you don't like her. It ain't about Hillary. In 4 years, you can vote Hillary out. It was about the courts. It's about all the gains that we had. It was about what Obama put out there. Trump came in, and they wanted to erase everything Obama did. What Mitch McConnell just say last week, giving you a black president is all the reparations you need, okay? And they're not hiding it. They're not hiding it. They telling you how they feel about you, okay? And we steadily sitting here. I seen videos people putting up black for Trumps and the sisters, and okay, what has he done for the black community? They keep talking about unemployment down, okay? Everybody I see walking around the black community is unemployed. They not, and if they working McDonald's or the Minuteman jobs, or they getting a job at the factories because the Mexicans can't do it now. So they got black guys going out to factories, and soon as they meet their quotas or get this contract done, and you get ready to turn into full time where they got to pay medical, they laying you off. So I don't understand where they say this economy is working for everybody. Okay, I looked at the guys that painted the studio and painted the house and stuff. Okay, them guys walking around able bodied, and they telling me, well, we can't find no jobs. Okay, they're working for $7 an hour. They got guys right now, landscapers pulling up outside Minuteman, putting you on trucks. Now I remember they did that for kids when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. And then take you out and you do the job and they drop you back off. Okay? So what is going on for the black people? Our education, which is another whole story, okay, because that's what's holding us back. That's the new slavery, education, okay, because we're getting so smart and our kids are going to college doing so much, but they're getting caught in debt. And then when they come out of college, they're not hiring them, okay? So what's going on with that? Now you in debt and you got all these bills, but you can't get hired because they don't want you at the factory. They don't want you in administration. Look at Trump's administration. He just hired one black, okay? And he just hired the other black lady that came up on the thing today, his new spokesperson, press is black. Okay. Now I think she's going to do a better job than uh, what Sarah Sanders did. But you have to look at this, Tone. Sarah Sanders kept her job because she wanted to lie. So what's going to happen when you're not going to tell that lie, or you're not going to put that falsehood up there, or you're not going to push it across? Is she gonna get fired? With Trump, yeah, she gonna get fired because if you ain't licking my back and
People
putting me on the pedestal,
getting fired and coming and going all the time with Trump.
and you have to look at this. When I tell everybody from the 2016 election is that you got to vote. Everybody talking about Bernie. Bernie is not going to. I look at the debate tonight and then the debate yesterday, and Bernie or bust people are back at it again. Okay. The only difference this time is that we're not going to need Bernie or bust people. And we're not going to worry about a third party, the Green Party, because there are 47% of Americans who didn't vote because they didn't like either candidate. And the Republicans, who are no Trumpers, will cross over to vote for Biden. Now, the question with Biden is when he gets here, he's going to get hit and smacked around. But when he stands on that stage, he's going to have to reach back and grab him a woman. He's going to have to change the tradition of that. He's going to have to get a woman. And the question is he either going to go get a white woman like Elizabeth Warren, or is he going to get a black woman? Now, and I think he talked to the black lady in Georgia, Stacey Abrams, and Abraham or whatever her name. Abrams. That's the pick to go to. Okay? He has to get a coalition to pull that coalition. And he got 3 coalitions he can pull. He can pull the Democrats. Once he picks his female VP, he's going to put a women vote. Okay? And then he's going to get the conservative vote. And the conservatives are going to come over and vote for him. They're not going to do that for Bernie. Bernie Sanders have a Southern problem. The Southern preachers and the black women are not going to get behind Bernie. Have you seen when he was at that conference of the Southern black women? They booed him a minute when he was asked a question about white supremacy. What's the first thing Bernie Sanders do? He brought up Martin Luther King. He marched with Martin Luther King. He actually was out there as one of the white people with Martin, but he ain't been there since then. Okay? That's like Reverend Jesse Jackson talking about Martin Luther King. You know, as soon as he mentioned Martin Luther King, 3 things happen. They come back and say he was the reason Martin Luther King got killed. They say he is sellout. They say him and Art Sharpton don't know what they doing. They ain't for the black people. That's why nobody listened to him during the protest. That's like Art McCoy come to sit in our studio right now with us. We can have some serious conversations, okay? But I guarantee you, if everybody gets on the telephone, they're gonna have some serious conversations with us also, because we are who the company we keep. Okay, Art McCoy is the godfather of the movement. Okay, he's been out there 60 years, and we still have the same problem we had in the 40s. Ain't nothing changed, Tony Stone. Nothing changed. So we have to register. We have to vote. We have to go out and seriously vote. Bernie ain't making it out the South, so you ain't got to worry about Bernie Sanders. Okay, but we cannot give Trump another 4 years, because if he get another Supreme Court ruling, you might be on the ship. You might be on the ship. You got another 20 years. You might be on your way back to Africa, young man.
No, I mean, I'm an optimist. I don't think it's going to get that bad.
Oh,
we're going to have some struggles, but,
Tom, do you know what they're going to do if he get back it up? Look what they doing now.
I'm too optimistic for that.
Yeah, you're going to have some optimism while you try to jump off that boat and swim.
I ain't on no boat.
Look what he
doing.
doing.
Boat I'm going to be on is
look what he doing. Look what he doing to the Mexicans. The Mexicans, I want to tell everybody this, and I'm going to keep it real because I ain't going to bite my tongue, because this is the last show in Cleveland for the season 3. The Mexicans are the new blacks. Okay? Now, you know well as I know, and everybody else know well as we sit here talking. Now, one of us was doing a job that a Mexican was doing. We ain't been in a farm field or out picking cotton in damn near 50, well, I take that back, 65 years. Unless we was down south and our daddy owned the farm. Mm-hmm. Okay? And you know, ain't nobody been out there, ain't no blacks been out there or whites been out there picking cotton, picking up tomatoes, working for $5 a basket, living in a trailer with 20 people. You know that they ain't taking none of our jobs.
Right.
Because if they wanted to stop the Mexicans from coming over here right now, okay, and I want everybody to understand this. If they wanted to stop illegal border crossings and stop the Mexicans right now, okay, go to the first place in Arizona and arrest the owner of the farm or the company that's hiring them and charge him with a felony and put him in one of those camps. Okay? If they can't get hired, then they won't come. Okay? They're sending money back to their family. Arrest the employer. That's what we got E-Verify for. They didn't figure out how to get around E-Verify. Okay? Trump, even our president, is hiring illegal people, telling them how to go get forms to get around E-Verify. I watched that CNN 2020 program where those 6 ladies was there. And they fired them, but they didn't fire them before they went iPhones. They in there with iPhones, filming everything, talking to Trump's people and all that. But then when they found out that they did the interview and everything, they fired them. Talking about, oh, we didn't do it. Yeah, you did it. They should have arrested them. If they arrested them, then we wouldn't have to worry about that, okay? Because what happened, even with the Mexicans not here, farmers' crops are rotting in the field right now, and they're importing more food and more vegetables and stuff over from Mexico, okay? So those Mexicans, it's only being treated because that's where Trump and the white supremacists wants to put their thing at, okay? Because they can't stop us. They tried to stop us. We went through the Mississippi hanging. And I tell everybody, I want you to watch that movie that go on Netflix right now and watch Mississippi Burning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because we need a wake-up call. We need to understand what's happening and what's been happening. Okay? And on that wake-up call. But hold that thought, because we're going to go into the blue room and listen to some Barcades. And we'll be right back.
You're listening to Stop the Madness. Keep it 100 on STMK Radio 100, 100, 100, 100.
Sets your soul on fire, and there's a real good chance of you losing me. Hey, hey. So you better open up your eyes and see. Well, 'cause loving you just stays on my mind, but it seems like I'm just wasting my time. Yourself of this precious love. So maybe we ought to try it one more time. You just might be surprised at what you find. Well, well, and there's a whole lot to gain if you don't give up. All it takes is a little faith and trust. You know you can't run away, just face to face.
loves cherry, so he fills his froster with wild cherry, cherry cola, and tops it off with cherry limeade. It's the cherry on Charlie's Day. Mix the Polar Pop or froster that works for you. Just 79 cents each at Circle K. Limited time only at participating locations.
AP Radio News. I'm Jackie Quinn. President Trump has imposed steeper economic sanctions on Iran in response to last week's shoot-down of a costly American surveillance drone.
I think a lot of restraint has been shown by us, a lot of restraint, and that doesn't mean we're going to show it in the future. But I felt that we want to give this a chance.
He says Iran needs to end its hostile activities in the region. The president also signed an executive order requiring hospitals to give patients upfront pricing so they are not hit with massive bills later on. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has called President Trump's threatened coast-to-coast deportations of migrants outside the circle of civilized human behavior.
This sent a tremor of fear across the country. And on a Sunday, I mean, they said to me, on a Sunday when people of faith are going to church, they don't know what they're going to be going home to.
U.S. authorities say that a woman, 2 babies, and a toddler were found dead near the U.S.-Mexico border, overcome by sweltering heat. They say it could be just a glimpse of what lies ahead for the summer. Environmental groups are complaining there's a conflict of interest for President Trump's United Nations nominee. Ambassador Kelly Craft is married to a coal industry giant who gave an official response to a question that she had asked of the Environmental Protection Agency. Up to 6 inches of rain has fallen in southwest Missouri, forcing evacuations and causing flash flooding there. Police Chief James Altick spoke with KOAM in Seneca, Missouri.
We've had a number of them drive off in 4 and 5 foot of water. It floods their cars out. They're just not familiar. They want to come look at the high water, and it's not the place to be right now.
The town of Anderson in McDonald County was nearly closed off after flooding destroyed a bridge. This is AP Radio News. Thirsty for a Slurpee? How about a Slurpee to go or a grilled hot dog? Our Mike Hampton reports that 7-Eleven convenience stores are kicking off delivery service today.
For orders under $15, customers will pay an extra $1.99. For all orders, 7-Eleven promises an average wait time of 30 minutes. The service is similar to one offered by Domino's, in which customers can order pizza and other items on the menu and have them delivered to more than 150,000 public locations.
A historical marker has been placed near the river where 2 men in southern Mississippi said they had been abducted by aliens in 1973. Charles Hickson and Calvin Parker say they were on the shores of the Pascagoula River when what appeared to be aliens pulled up aboard a UFO, looked at them for about 30 minutes, and then brought them back to Earth. I'm Jackie Quinn, AP Radio News.
Computer and smart device. Progress never stops, and neither do you. You need to hear the latest news, commentary, and interviews. Download the free app with your all-access subscription and stream every Progress show no matter where you are. Anywhere, anytime. We're here. Active, essential, progressive, Sirius XM Progress.
easy way. Make a old man wish for younger days, yeah, yeah. She knows she's built and knows how to please. Show enough to knock a strong man to his knees. 'Cause she's a brick house. Yeah, she's mighty, mighty. Just letting it all hang out. Hey, brick house. Like lady stack, that's a fact. Ain't holding nothing back now. Shake it down 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 now. Brick house. Yeah, she's mighty, mighty. Just letting it all hang out. Brick house. Yeah, she's the one, the only one, built like an Amazon. Yeah. Shake it down now. Shake it down now. Shake it down now. Shake it down now. Shake it down, shake it now. Shake it. Shake it down now. Shake it now now. Shake it now now. Shake it down now. Shake it now now. Shake it
Hey, Thirst, can I try out a few Coke Summer sound effects on you? Yes. Cool. You okay with this? Yes. And this? Yes. And what about this? Yes. Ha! Gotcha there, Thirst. That wasn't sound effects. That was a Coke. I'm no longer thirsty. You're so out of here. Coca-Cola, open happiness.
You know, ball players learn superstitions early. Some guys rub their bats for luck.
Good kid.
Some guys always wear rally hats. Others bet the catcher's head. Me, I take my relief pitcher to Pizza Hut before every game.
Now buy a Pizza Hut pizza and get a relief pitcher for just $2.49. Then get free Pepsi fill-ups all summer with any dinner-size pizza to go. Every pitcher sold helps support Little League of America.
With a great relief pitcher, maybe you don't need superstitions.
Pizza Hut, making it great.
MC, back it up. Back it up. MC, back it up. Back it up.
Right here, baby.
MC, back it up. Back it up. Baby. MC, back it up. Come on now. Back it up. Baby. Why can't you see that I need you right here with me? I want you right here, my dear. So won't you back that thing on up, my baby, right here? Come on, help me sing. MC, back it up. I'm a back it up. Baby, MC, back it up. Say, back it up, get up. Sugar, get out on the floor.
Get out on the floor, baby.
Shake it till you can't no more. I want you right here, my dear. So won't you back that thing on up, my baby, right here? Come on, help me sing. MC, back it up. Come on, back it up. Help me sing, yeah. MC, back it up. Come on, back it up. That thing on up. MC, back it up. Come on, back it up. Yeah. MC, back it up. See ya. Back it up. Come on.
Come on, baby.
All tune. Baby.
Back it on up, baby. Right here.
help me say. MC, back it up. Come on. Back it up. Baby. MC, back it up. Come on. Back it up. Get that thing on up. MC, baby. Back it up. Come on. Come on. Back it up. Baby. MC, back it up. Yeah. Back it up. Shama, shama, shama. Shama, shama, shama. Shama, shama. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Shama. Shama, help me say. MC, back it up. Come on, back it up. Baby. MC, back it up. Say it. Back it up. That thing on up. MC, back it up. Come on, back it up. Yeah. MC, back it up. Back it up.
This is Tassie Hawthorne from sunny California, and I listen to STMK Radio 100. Stop the madness. Keep it 100 on Facebook Live.
Warriors have only two paths: get killed or get better.
Our blood is cheap here, so you'd better learn to adapt.
What do you want from me?
War is coming.
We're gonna take back our city!
This Chinatown bait. There's about 100 ways it can bury you. You do what you have to survive.
How often have you heard life is a journey? It's true. Every day of your life takes you somewhere you've never been before. You discover who you are and what you're made of as you face the unknown and uncertain, progress and pain, love and loss. What you might not know is that this journey comes with a guide.
God uses negatives to accomplish positives. He connects things that don't look connectable when the timing is right and everything is looking wrong.
In his new book, Pathways, Dr. Tony Evans helps you discover the very personal nature of God as he maneuvers you toward your purpose.
God wants to use you. God wants to empower you because he wants you to make a difference, even when it looks like it's not working out.
Discover how to stay confident and committed no matter where your journey leads you, and experience the joy and satisfaction God promises when you do. Pathways, from Providence to Purpose. Brand new from Dr. Tony Evans.
STMK Radio 100. You've been tuned in to Stop the Madness, keeping it 100 on STMK Radio 100. And now back to your host one more time, Shawn L, Let, and Tone the Stone.
It is so painful to know that we don't have enough people taking a position that says, listen, we must have stronger gun laws. It's unacceptable. It's almost like the world is becoming blind. I pray that we will grow. I pray that the leaders who have a responsibility to perpetuate life will do it by making sure that the laws will make it so very hard for people that have guns and to take their frustrations out to kill life.
Hey, welcome back to Stop the Madness. Keep it 100, free for all Thursday. In Studio 51 with us, Lady T came in and mic'd up. What's up, Lady T?
Hey, everybody. How are you?
Just speak a little bit louder in there. There you go. So,
Hey, Sean, how are you?
okay. We was talking about earlier about with Trump and about what was going on in Euclid about the thing. And Tony, what I was trying to say is that we got to get involved. We got to vote, and we got to take our spot in our democracy, and we got to be willing to. If we don't get the person we want, we got to be willing to go ahead and bite that bullet and do the right thing. We can't afford 4 more years of Trump.
What you said? If we don't get the person we want, oh, you mean bite the bullet? Like if we don't get the person we want, we still got to take somebody, whoever's the opposition to Trump. We got to take them.
Right,
okay,
right.
okay.
Because that's what happened to Hillary. Okay, that's exactly what happened to Hillary. That since Hillary couldn't, Bernie couldn't beat Hillary. Okay, Bernie or bus people got mad and they wouldn't vote for Hillary. Okay, and the other people wouldn't vote third party. That's how Trump got in. If you look at the states he did that he beat, Biden won't have that problem because he could take Pennsylvania, he could take Wisconsin, he can take Michigan, and maybe Florida. But Lady T, this is your debut with us. Tell us what you've been up to.
I'm just working hard on the book and marketing and selling it. Pushing my 3 for $25 for all 3 books for $3.25, and kind of just working on my ebooks and doing vendor events. I got accepted to a couple of vendor events, so just working on those things.
Oh, you're gonna have to let us know so we can put that out there for you.
Oh, definitely. Thank you.
Let us know, everybody. I want everybody to know that this is our last show in the city of Cleveland for season 3. July 13th, we're going to be at 4415 Northfield Road, Warrensville Heights, Ohio, 44128 at the Euclid NAACP Youth Branch Police Accountability Panel. And I want y'all to come out and really give President DeMar Sheffy a lot of love and really understand what the 5 Supreme Court rulings is and the law, so people could stop lying to you and you'll have an understanding of what we need to do to achieve that police accountability plus safety and respect. But I want to go right here, Tone, because this has been a real kicker. R. Kelly was in court today on his sex charges, and they're going to retry him on some tapes. The same victim. I don't know if she's going to come forward because she didn't come forward last time, so that's going to be a thing. But he's facing 145 years in jail.
So the tapes that I heard got turned over. That's what they are. The same tapes from 18 years ago.
I don't know if it's the same. Well, there was 100,000 tapes out there. But what is being said is that those are the victim is the same person that he got tried before. So it must be a better tape that they can actually see.
How is that not double jeopardy?
Well, that's the question for a judge, because you have to ask yourself that right there. Is it double jeopardy or what's going on with that? Because you have to understand that this is the same tape that he got tried on, but evidently this is better video. So it may not be the same incident or whatever. I don't know.
It might not be the same time. Okay.
Because they haven't said yet. They just turned the tape over to the defense thing. Okay. But I want to see how this is going to play out because Avenatti right now is facing 100 years in jail. Okay? So he can't testify.
What will he testify for?
He's the one that gave Kim Fox the tape.
Okay.
He the one that got the tape.
Where's he going to testify? Where he got it from?
But any defense attorney, I would want him to come in to testify where he got it from, how he got it, who he gave it to, if it's been tampered with. I'll be negligent in my duties, okay?
Yeah.
Then the prosecutor is up under fire, Kim Fox, for the way she handled the Jesse Smollett case. So, this is going to be a big one. They're talking about putting him on trial next year. So when we come back for season 3,
they're do him like Bill Cosby. It's a wrap for R. Kelly, man.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think it's a wrap. And I'm gonna say this: I'm not condoning anything, it's because they didn't charge him until after that TV series, Mute R. Kelly, or I may not have,
Surviving R. Kelly.
right,
Yeah.
Surviving R. Kelly. Okay,
I couldn't think of it.
so they just charged him after that, and most of those victims were the people that spoke on this series. Okay,
It was like you said. It's like we were talking about with the police earlier. They charged them because after the series, all these people came out in force, in in numbers and
Right.
droves, complaining and protesting about R. Kelly, and that's why they started, looking for all this evidence and looking to build up cases. That's why they charged them. I mean, so maybe it might not be over for them. Who knows? But it's
Well,
looking like they're gonna try to do them like they did Bill.
I'm gonna look at this. They took 8 years on the first case.
Mhm.
So we're talking about a tape that's now 19 years old, maybe 20 years old. So I'm gonna get this. This incident started 20 years ago. Okay, so we talking 20 years now. How many of them people that's going to testify now actually can remember what happened 20 years ago?
Well, when it comes to sexual assault, you always remember it. Like,
But a lot of these women are not, well, they claiming sexual assault, but a lot of these women were willing participants in this incident, and they only mad because he dumped them and moved to the next one.
And another thing about this witness, I mean, not the witness, the victim, like, is she's not a credible witness. If she didn't want to come testify before, like, now that she's grown, like, what? I mean, that just seems like she might have some type of fishy motives.
Wait a minute, there goes back to the child pornography statute in law. Okay, just like Lady T said, when it comes to female victims, you don't forget a sexual assault. But what I'm saying, Lady T, is that a lot of these girls, like the girl that went to the trial, and then she started a relationship with R. Kelly because she went to the trial every day and he seen her and liked it or whatever. Okay, she never said that he sexually assaulted her, and she never said he did anything except when he went,
Eventually, he got a little abusive.
Right, but he left. Okay, but what I'm saying is, they're going after him because she's saying that she was 16 when she started the relationship with him. Okay, now what I'm saying is that how credible will she be when they put her on the stand, because you know that the defense attorneys is not going to play play with her.
Right.
And then they're going to go on the dates. How can you say that you was actually 16 when y'all had sex? Okay, some of the people was talking about it. They had sex together with these kids or whatever.
She got to be able to prove that they even had sex. So
right, but this is where I'm coming back to you saying it ain't a slam dunk. Okay, because if it took them 8 years to put them on trial for the first case, and all this is out of that case, now we're talking another 11 years, and now they're in their 30s. Lady T, what you think about that?
well, I think that as far as age goes, if she was 16, hypothetically,
Just lower your mic down. Pull it up to you. No, lower it down. Put it straight. There you go. Now pull it up to you.
like girls, we're attracted to guys, period. You look good. Oh my gosh, you're nice. But then it's like, you should know better. Everybody wants to lie about their age. Who's to say that at the time he knew that she was 16?
Well, that's what I'm talking about right there too. The Lady T, you hit it right there where I'm going, because we're talking 19 years later at 16. That makes her 36 right now. Okay, almost 20 years ago, 36, 35. Okay,
no, 11 years later.
Well, no,
she was 16.
No, this was happening in 2000.
Oh, wait, and when the trial first started.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Right. So you going from, because that's where they went back to 2000.
Okay.
Okay. and then with the victim, who is the niece of his protege, then then they went to trial, which was 8 years later. So we talking about one victim, 8 years later. Now that's 11 years later. Now that she's about 26, 27. What is the case there? That's what I'm talking about. What is the prosecution grabbing on? Because the tape may get thrown out, but you know, under the pornography law, each tape is a different charge. Okay, so is it the same tape? Like you said, is it the same tape? Is it a cut version of the tape? Is it a bootleg copy of the tape? Who did somebody doctor the tape? Okay, we don't know.
So is he being charged for making the tapes with this young lady, or is he being charged?
He's being charged with both, for making the tape, having sex with a minor. They got him on 45 different charges.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, out of all those 45 charges, he's not gonna get off on all of them. It might, you know, he might not suffer the most severe penalties, like the 140 years you said, or something like that.
Well, I think he might get to if he get convicted, he gonna do 140 years.
Yeah.
He gonna be worse than Bill. Bill only got 12 years, and Bill only got. See, the problem I have with Bill and all that is that the Republicans changed the rules of the law. Okay, because the prosecutor at the time told Bill and them that they wouldn't be prosecuted, and they let it go civilly. Okay, and that's what got him convicted. And I don't understand why a lawyer would let him even admit anything in a civil trial. I would never admit that I raped Lady T or that I stole your stuff. That would never admit. I admit Lady T lying on me, and I don't want to fight her and go through the thing with her lying on me. So I'm just gonna settle the case on, as they say with the city, with no fault.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I don't understand why he was even talking about giving people drugs. Even if he did get somebody drugs, he ain't supposed to say that.
Right.
Okay. And that's what they got him. He got convicted of, because he said that he gave these ladies drugs. Okay. Now, R. Kelly ain't admit to nothing, because he can't even read anything. Okay. You know, the child support thing, they couldn't put him in, they let him go because he got the education of a third grade student. And that may enter into his thing too, you know, that he's not physically capable of knowing right from wrong. I don't know if that's going to play that way.
Man, you gotta try every angle when your life is on the line. You gotta try every.
Right, but I don't like the thing that a woman. Same thing that's happening with Donald Trump right now. Same thing. And, you know, I can't stand Donald Trump, and I say this: of all the women that came out against the president, talking about they was raped and his, why didn't she come out then? Why did she wait another 4 years? She write.
Well, I'm gonna have to cut in real quick,
Go ahead.
because when it comes to, again, sexual assault, women don't want to talk about it. It doesn't matter how long I take to come out and tell you. If it's hurting me and I'm trying to move past it, once people blanket out their minds and try to live a normal life past the pain and past the things that they've been through, they want to live that life. But if I know that other women are being brave enough to talk about what happened, and I want to share my story, then that's their right to share their story. It shouldn't be about,
But 4 years
why,
later?
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I
You're
get
going to
what she's
live with
saying.
the
Like,
mental abuse of
yeah.
it all your life, so why not?
If you're trying to if you're trying to put it behind you and you don't want to talk about it, you don't want to deal it, you want to erase those memories if that's even possible. I get that.
Okay, but what about writing a book? Well, okay, what about I don't come out until after I write my book, and then after my book is published and getting ready to go out on sale, I come out.
Yeah, I mean, see, that's
a male's point of view on it.
Well,
like,
I mean,
maybe she wanted to share a story on a different platform. I mean,
I don't know.
I
Like,
can't say for her.
It's hard
but
to
I know
say.
for women who actually been through something that horrific, they do not want to talk about it. They do not want to share. But if you're being brave about it, and we have the same predator, then maybe it's time for us to step up and give him or her what they deserve.
That could open up
the
door.
Yeah, that's just what it is. I mean, if I got raped and I got past it, and now I'm just like, I'm trying not to think about it. I'm trying to be in healthy relationships. I'm trying to do whatever it is that I need to do to be mentally healthy for myself. then I'm going to move past it. But if I look on TV and I'm looking at the face of my predator and I'm looking at all the women, I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's time. Maybe it's a sign that this is time for us to share.
Okay.
It was Me Too. Like, and I understand that everybody's mad about the whole Me Too thing, but some people actually have this reason to come out, and some people may be just doing it for their 15 minutes.
But okay, now I can understand that, and I'm glad we got a female perspective on that. So when Bill got hit with Constance, okay, and then the other lady come out and said that she lied to help her book, but she still testified. I mean, there should. It's hard for me to defend myself. 35, like with Bill, that was like 40 years later, 45 years later. I mean, it's hard for me to defend myself 45 years later against a charge like this. Now, R. Kelly's in a total different situation because he got video. And if he's on the video, he need to be castrated. I'm going to say that. If he's on the video doing what they said he done, he needs to be castrated. But that's, with Bill, that was 45 years ago, Lady T. I mean, shouldn't there be a statute of limitation?
It is a statute of limitation. Murder is the only thing without it. So it's like if you're a child, you got to your 21 or something like that to come out and put out whatever has happened to you, and then you get to talk about it. I mean, I know a person who went through the exact same thing and they just got closure, but that does not mean that the mental images and the mental stress and whatever it is that she had to go through is going to go away. It's just that you feel like you had something. You had some kind of closure. They got something out of it. And it wasn't monetary. It was more so like, thank you for punishing him for the things that he did to me. I mean, like I said, some people want the 15 minutes of fame. Some people actually want the person who did wrong to be put behind bars. And I feel like anybody who's out here raping, molesting, doing things that they're not supposed to do, don't put it on the woman. Put it on the person who's doing it. I'm not saying it's always men, and I'm not putting it on the man, but if you're the one who's doing it, it's on you. You deserve your consequence.
Well,
just like
I would like
you
to see,
felt like
I would like to see Trump get Me Too.
I feel like he should have been.
I feel like he's already in it, but I don't know.
Well, nobody wants to prosecute the president.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he got away real. I'm talking about the moral statutes of the Republican Party on that, because they let him go away with a lot.
Because they putting laws in place because pedophilia is all up their alley.
Right.
Like, so they putting in laws and putting people in office to cover them. So when they got that kind of power and money behind them, they good. And I mean, Bill Cosby got money, but he ain't got that whitewash to be able to cover himself.
Crosby, yeah, he got it. But let's go down a little bit, because this is something, Lady T, that I wanted to talk to you about also on your first night here, because we want to really just finish the night off right here. The dangers of social media. What's going on with the thing of people meeting people online and then meeting up, ladies getting raped, then the ladies meeting up guys and taking them in and getting robbed. We had 3 cases here in Cleveland where a young man was killed and dumped out of a car in Shaker from meeting a young lady online just last week. And another guy, I think it was on the west side, he was supposed to meet a lady. He pulled up in his car, and she wasn't there, but 2 guys was there. He got shot. And we have been told over and over about social media. So what do we need to be doing with our kids right now so they can understand the dangers of the dark side of social media?
Well, I believe catfishing is always been here. Like, you gotta use your instincts. We gotta be a little bit smarter. Like, I know everybody, like, what is this, dating sites, and everybody want to use Facebook for every time, kind of different platform, but we still got to be careful. I mean, people have been setting up people for years, so it's not social media. It's just a different platform that they're using. I mean, at one time they was using the chat lines. At one time they was using, just talking on the phone, pagers, meet me here, little codes. So it's not social media in itself. That's just a platform that they're using to do the same thing that people been doing. You still got to use your caution, and you still got to pay attention. Like, you got to meet them somewhere public. Meet them at McDonald's. Everybody know where McDonald's at. You can't miss McDonald's. So, meet them there, kind of watch them, see. I mean, it's crazy, but this has been going on for a long time. Women been setting up dudes been setting up people, you know, it's been forever. It's not, we can't just blame social media. We got to take responsibility for the fact that we're not being cautious
So
as a people.
Do you think that there may be an age limit?
It is an age limit.
Well, not
age
really.
limit
I'm talking about with parents, because you know, if the parents not doing anything.
You talk about dating sites though, or
No, I'm
or
talking
social,
about
social
Facebook,
media in general, right?
Snap, because not because everybody left Facebook now and they on Snapchat. They on something else the kids on now. It's a new one, so.
They on everything. I mean, it's really nothing you could do about it. Like, it's a way of life now.
Well, I'm talking about with parents. You know, should parents, if their kid's not a certain age, should they be allowing them on platforms?
I feel like it's okay to allow them on it as long as you monitor them. You know, I know too many parents whose kids are on social media and they don't monitor them. They don't look and see that. They don't
even follow them.
Yeah. So, you know, and that goes not even with, you know, dealing with predators, but just watching the way your child's behavior, watching how they're evolving and how they're growing, making sure they're not getting involved in nothing that they don't need to be involved in. You know, that just goes with good parenting. Social media, as far as that goes, it's
dark side.
It's not the dark side. You know, it can be abused like anything else. Like Lady T said, you know, people need to stop. You know, with kids, they need to be monitored. You know, and for grown-ups and the people who are being victimized, you know, murdered and stuff like that, they need to use common sense. Like she said, don't go meet somebody a complete stranger who you just met online that you don't even know that's the person who you was talking to in the first place. Don't go meet them somewhere private, you know,
because that was the biggest thing on what was that when they were selling stuff.
Right.
And the guy come up here from Youngstown with his motorcycle, and the guy said, "Well, let me try it out. You know, make sure that the gears work or something." He get on the bike, and you never see him again.
Right.
You know.
And see, people like that make it hard for honest people who are selling their products to be able to do stuff. Like, that's why I kind of go out to vendor events, because, you know, you got to drive. I want people to see that I'm a real person, that I am who my pictures say I am, and that the products are actual products. Because people like that schemes and scams. But you got to remember, again, this been happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't blame social media. I just blame the fact that, you know, it's bad apples everywhere. So I just do, you know, I go harder in order for people to know that I exist, people to know that my products exist. If you order something, it's being delivered. Versus, it was a lady, I can't remember her name, she was supposedly selling clothes. They looked really nice. People ordering them, taking months. They screenshotting, hey, look, don't order from her. And it's people like that make it so hard. They make it hard for everybody else.
They just put that young girl in jail that stole millions from 30th on Facebook.
The Facebook, the national scam.
Yeah, the national scam. Yeah. Because, you know, I look at this and I tell everybody, and I'm going to welcome Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Jay Butler.
As we talking
about social media and everything right there.
You can't live without it.
Michael Wilkins, hey.
It is a way of life.
Houston in the house, in Savannah. We'll be down in Savannah the week after next, after the 4th of July. You can see us in Atlanta. But, you know, I want to go back to this, Tone, is that when you look at social media, it's so much open now. I mean, it's like the gateway to everything for white supremacists, for voting fraud, and people actually get their news and everything off social media. So you can reach thousands and thousands of people and corrupt their minds, you know, and that's better than the new gateway drug.
I mean, it is a drug. It's an addiction, but ultimately it's just a reflection of real life. Like, so whatever people are into, of course, when they get online on whatever social media app or whatever website, you know, they're going to, you know, especially the less smart people, they're going to project themselves. So if they got hateful views, if they got prejudices and stuff like that, they're going to project that online. And like I said, they're less smart because now you have they're leaving a breadcrumb trail.
Paper trail, yeah.
Well, one thing I can say about social media is when they killed a young man in Shaker, okay, that's how they got her. She hasn't told who the guys were, but that they got her, so it doesn't make a difference. She want to do the crime for the thing, but I think she'll give them up. Who knows? But you know, when you come down to us being on social media, like the GoFundMe stuff, selling stuff. I mean, there's so much you can do on social media, and so many. And as Lady T said, is that you can make so much money that the fraud is right there for that, because you can say, hey, I'm selling this, or GoFundMe, or my dog's sick, and you get $100,000 immediately. It's hard.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with social media. It's human nature, really. Like, people are going to always try to find a way to take advantage, or, scam and scheme. And not everybody, but, there are the people out there that's going to do that. So those are the people. You just got to be conscious of those people. And once again, it comes down to being smart. Like, you have to be smart. You have to be aware that these people exist, and you have to, like, keep that in the forefront of your mind that, this person might not be who they say they are.
Right. An economic mob is in the house from Oklahoma. Hey, what's up, economic? He's going to be with Cleveland with us, because when we start the season 4, Lady T's going to sit in the chair with us. And you just seen how she just came in and jumped right in on the second hour free for all with us. And we really love your perspective, Lady T. You give us a whole new flavor, because you got the millennial over there really having to really
She probably
bring it
younger than me. She the millennial now.
No, we ain't gonna let nobody take your spot, especially when you get to Atlanta. You're gonna be the baby. But I look at what's going on in our world of politics. I look what's going on with police reform. We look at the crime in the communities, and we look at the organizations that I feel is behind the times, that hasn't kept up and kept our young people involved, and we haven't passed that baton. And social media, if you look at it, is the way that you draw the kids, because they do a thing what they call flash mobs now, and they tell everybody we're gonna do a flash mob at Beechwood Mall, and now you got thousands of people there. I think that they need to kind of filter that, Tone. I really do. I really do think they need to filter it, because.
What's your generation? If I'm the millennial, what's your generation?
I'm a baby boomer.
You're a baby boomer. That's that old generation.
And a baby boomer was worse than you, because we had the revolution. See, we didn't talk about police brutality and police reform. We picked up the gun and had the revolutions. We burned the cities down. We had free love. We had Woodstock and interracial love. And we understand that the fight you had to take also at the same time, because when I was a kid, they was hanging kids, okay? And you was going, remember I told everybody earlier that I think everybody on Netflix should go watch that movie Mississippi Burning, because we have forgot what we were supposed to be doing and what we was going through. Trump puts us right there, but Trump's ain't the first. We had the guy MacArthur, and we had all them come down, Wallace and all them. So they was killing blacks. They was telling you where they was coming from, okay? And they didn't hide it.
They still doing that today.
No, today there's a little bit more mass. I mean, they're still doing it today, but what I'm talking about, Tone, is that today they let you walk in the store and laugh and joke, and it's mad. Before, you knew it was coming, and you knew when the sun went down, the white knights was coming to ride, okay? That's why I said they need to watch Mississippi Burning to really understand, especially our kids. It should be mandatory for every junior high school kid to sit in the auditorium and watch Mississippi Burn.
That's a parental thing, and they ain't doing that. They ain't even teaching the same thing in Black history that they taught me.
Right.
Like, my kids don't learn the same thing. It's my job now to teach my kids,
and
because they trying to push that on out.
Right, and that's the problem. We were losing our identity. Once again, we are allowing them, just like they did to the Africans, take our identity away from us and our history, and give us what they want, okay?
Yeah.
That's we have to stop that. And that's when I come back to the village, okay? Because if our kids knew, like, it was mandatory for me to go to school, and it was mandatory for me to go to church, and it was mandatory for me to go see Martin Luther King, listen to him, Malcolm X, to listen to what he say, okay? And it was mandatory for me to understand what was going on in our neighborhoods. Our kids are not getting that now, okay? That's why our parents is not there, because their parents are not there, okay? You have to understand, we went through the crack epidemic, and grandma raised some of these kids, and now grandma gone, and the family structure was broke down. So it's not like it was when
the
we was
schools
kids.
are much less lower standard than they were.
Well, not only that,
Definitely.
right? Not only that, our schools we fought for education, but when we was in school, we taught each other what we needed to know for survival. So if you look at our schools now, college may not been for me, so I went to trade. I knew how to fix a car. I knew how to do masonry. I knew how to do electricity. See, they took all that away from you because now you became the person that was making it. Okay, think about the kids of my age. Most of them right now, they can build their own house. They can fix their own cars. Okay, most of the kids now don't even understand what it is to change a tire.
Yeah, most men my age can't even change a tire. You're right.
Right, and then don't let's not talk about cook.
Wow, I mean, I think.
Yeah, well, they think the woman's supposed to cook. So,
But see, it was mandate. See, wait a minute, it was mandate. No, because Tom, when you look at it, it was mandated that my grandmother and see in the summertime. I tell everybody this, and they think it's funny because my mother's father had a farm. So every year when I got out of school, I had to go to Van Wert, Ohio, and at 5 o'clock in the morning, I had to get up with him and go out and work the farm. Okay. Then at 7 we come in and eat, and then we do the chores until 11. And after the chores was done by 12, okay, then I could go play for 4 hours or whatever. Then I had to come and eat, and then we had to do whatever we had to do at night. Put the chickens up, do the feed. Okay, and that was the routine for the whole summer.
that's structure. Ain't
Okay.
no structure now.
Now, if say the grocery store burned down right now, don't even one in town, how we gonna eat?
Barbecue joints.
You ain't gonna have a barbecue joint.
No, I'm not saying that's good either. I'm saying I get what you're saying,
Now,
but
when
they don't. Most of these kids in these communities, they don't have that farm.
Right, they don't have that structure.
Family farm to go and get that
But
experience.
because when my grandmother talking about she was getting ready cooking chicken, we didn't go to Dave's and get chicken. We had to go out in the barn, grab a chicken, bring him in the house. She broke his neck, defeathered him, and cooked the chicken. Okay, when my grandfather and father was talking about Thanksgiving, we didn't go to Dave's and get a turkey pre-done. They went out and killed a wild turkey.
Yeah, I mean, meat aside, people can grow gardens in their backyard, though, fruits and vegetables. They need to be eating more of that anyway. So that's something that you can do even if you live in the ghetto.
So you said you're going to be a vegetarian?
I was vegan. I was a vegan for a good 3 or 4 months, solid, straight.
What happened?
I went back to a more balanced diet. I felt
Ran out
good
of
when I was a
ideas?
vegan, too.
You ran out of ideas?
Kind of, sort of. I eating potatoes and rice every day.
And then, Tony, I'm going to say this. My mom, God rest her soul, trained all her sons to cook, clean, and everything because she didn't want me to be dependent on a woman.
Mm-hmm.
She taught me how to sew. Your mom did taught you how to sew, cook, and clean. Okay, because she didn't want you to be dependent on a woman. She wants you to be a helpmate like you're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where you could do this if you had to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now kids can't even boil beans. Okay.
I don't know.
If it ain't McDonald's,
I don't think it's not as bad as you make it seem. Like
I don't know. I kind of agree. It's a lot of people who don't know how to cook. A lot of men complain about women not know how to cook, but they can't even cook.
Washing clothes. Most men
separate the clothes. Yeah,
right,
they don't
separate
even
the
know.
clothes.
They just throw them in the wash.
I think it's a sorry few, and when I say few, I don't mean a handful. I mean it's a lot of them. But I mean, I like to think overall.
You know how we when we sit down, we start talking about a problem and like the crime and everything, and everybody say, well, it's just one or two. Well, it's more than one or two. It's a problem.
It's a few.
It's like the church when we talk about this, and I said this to Reverend Cabinets and them. The church took $340 billion out of the black community. $340 billion. Do you know how our communities could look if they just will reinvest that money back into the community?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're supposed to be doing too. So where is that money going? Like,
that's what nonprofit is all about.
It's going to their Cadillac, their $190 million house out in Gates Mills, and in their pocket. Because I'm gonna say this. I looked at Dr. Darrell Scott, who's with the president. and his wife. Okay, and people tell me Daryl Scott used to be a drug dealer. Okay, and everybody changed their ways. Okay, but he living paying $5,000 a month with the church's tithes. Okay, and living in a hell of a house out in Solon somewhere. But the people that's paying him and going to his church, they're catching a bus and can't even afford bus passes.
Right.
You know, some of them barely eating. And not only his church, let's go to the churches all down 105th, okay? And then the Catholic churches going around. But $340 billion, and we don't even have a hospital in our inner cities no more.
That's true.
We don't have grocery stores. And the grocery stores we do have are substandard, okay? Now, the East Side Market opened up, but people scared to go down to the East Side Market because when they go in the market to get their stuff and walk home, they will get robbed. Okay? And then people, the prices are so high. So people go out to Willoughby, Target. Look at, there's no malls in the city no more. I remember when I was a kid, Tone, that 105th Superior, St. Clair, Euclid, that was like being in Vegas. Y'all look at some of them old pictures that I show everybody. That's when I talk about being part of the revolution. It was televised that when we burned our community down, the Jewish community left. And they never came back. They went to the suburbs. That's how Beechwood got built up, University Heights, and all around. And they're not bringing their money back down. We're not seeing the reinvestment, okay? The same scars from 1968 and 67 in Huff and Glenville are the same scars you see today. And that's 60 years later. There's something wrong with that.
It's we depending on them to come back and rebuild it. We need to rebuild it ourselves. Like, it's a lot of money. If you said that black churches have $340 billion, then obviously it's coming from the black people. So therefore, the black people have enough money to rebuild our own communities. It's just that we prefer to buy Jordans.
Right.
I mean,
wait a minute, Lady T. Wait a minute. Hold it. Somebody just flashed me in the thing. Lady T. I just got me the new Jumpman shoes for Atlanta. Okay. I just got me 2 new pair.
But are you
Jumpman
trying
shoes.
to
You're not
reinvent
going to the church and support
right?
these
Are you
people
trying to reinvent the neighborhoods,
habits.
or is you just buying Jordans to look good in the neighborhood as you walk past it, as it's tearing
no,
down?
I don't wear the Jordans in the neighborhood.
Well, yeah, well.
But I did post. So everybody's flashed that. Yes, I did post. I'm guilty of that. Because when I get to Atlanta, I got the floss.
Yeah, why are you buying Jordans anyway? You're supposed to be buying LeBron's.
No, I don't buy anything LeBron. That's
Jordan don't give back. Jordan don't come back and support the community.
He's doing a negative way because he paid for jails.
That's not my. Wait a minute. That's not my error. See, when I go to sports, I have to stay. Everybody got a lane, Toe.
Okay.
And my lane with Jumpman, okay?
Staying with the Jordans, even though
I love Jumpman.
Even though he goes against everything you sit on this radio and preach.
Well, that is true. Well, you know what? That is true because he invests in prison. But I'm not going to tell a man how to invest his money. But see, I love LeBron James because LeBron James
invest in his community.
Not only in his community, but LeBron James know how it felt when he came up without a father, when he had to go into the schools, and when his ability came and somebody grabbed him because of his ability. But before that, LeBron James went through that, and he particularly made a commitment to himself and his sons that they wouldn't do that. And he put his money with the kids. And he was a high school kid. He's making the money, and he kept to that commitment. And I understand that, and I love LeBron for that, okay? And I love everything he's doing to reinvest in Akron, okay, because he's doing it in his hometown. He's not doing it in Cleveland, L.A. He's doing it in his hometown. The Hope School has surpassed all graduation and brought the kids up. And I want to see more people do that. And I want our elected officials to do that. And I want the people in the community to stop looking at LeBron and start zeroing in what he's doing for the kids and do that. And that's real lovely for that, okay?
You need to start buying LeBrons and not Jordan.
No, I can't buy LeBron. I'm sorry right now. I love the way Jumpman do his thing, and I love the products he put out. And Jumpman has a right to invest in prison because that is if you talk about the almighty
do whatever
green,
he want to do, but
right, that's where the money's at. Because you have to understand one thing: until the community, and this is what I'm telling everybody for July 13th, until we in the community come out here and take back our community, get our young men and put them in school and teach them to come and police their own community so we can have people like us. And until we start investing money in the community, instead of giving our monies to the Arab stores and all that, build our stores back up and build what we need, we're always going to have this problem, okay? And it takes a village. It doesn't start with one here or there. It takes everybody. So LeBron came in and did it in Akron. Now we need to branch it off. You know how many millionaires in the NBA and NFL of all them blacks just come back into the community and give back which fed them.
Right.
Okay. They can help that. East Cleveland wouldn't be in the position it's in. Okay.
Well, I don't know if there's no multimillionaires from East Cleveland.
Oh yeah. Daryl Talley. You have to look at all them. John Hinton. You have to look at how they made it.
I mean, I'm talking about. You can't talk about somebody with 10 million trying to do the things with that LeBron is doing.
You know, if they took $1 million and brought back and invested that $1 million into the community property, it'd double.
That might be a lot to ask. Now, what I would say is, yeah, if they bought up property, invested, and started businesses, yeah, it could be a business venture.
Or brought up property. Look what Carmelo Anthony and them doing, buying houses and giving single mothers houses. Okay, giving them something to latch onto so they can be a part of home ownership.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, giving them something to look forward to, giving them hope so they can give their kids hope. See, that's what I'm talking about. You know, just like right now with us, when our founder Let got into this business and signed all these contracts and got with the white media and everything. Nobody in the community came with us. Cleveland is 1% of our business. Mm-hmm. We got more people out of town and in L.A. and Savannah and going around to listen to us, and we can't even get the people in Cleveland to come with us and join us. Okay, but we reach back. We go to the artists and we give them a platform and we offer them to come and do stuff with us. So we give back in our way to bring back so they can give back. You know, if everybody just give back just a little bit, we'd be surprised what happened. But Lady T, you know, we thank you for coming on with us. We thank you for being with us tonight. You know, this is the second time you've been with us. We really want you to come back and start season 4 with us and sit in the chair. Tony Stone always here with us. But I want everybody for a minute just to hold on for 1 minute.
Fan base is big, I can't lose. Sugar bow down, I'm the next to rule, but I'ma stay on the cool, remain on the under, cause like Andre 3000, your boy's ice cold. Ain't no limit to the gimmicks and ways to make money. No limit to the just to act funny when you get that cake, cause you spit that way. They may love you tomorrow when they hate you today, but yo, that's the way the story goes, so I was told. Following the ramble down the yellow brick road, please believe at the end ain't no pie to go. Just some platinum beats from the Cleveland streets.
You ain't never ever seen a gangster quite like me.
You know I don't give them, and never gave them, I'm just living it up.
No, I hold it down, baby, because I'm certified G.
I'm just living it up, the money can't go with me, so I'm spending it up.
Oh, ain't no problem, see love and living comfortably.
Never giving it up, I made it all on my own, you ain't getting above.
Shawty got it live with the players from K16.
Yes.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey, it's been a great run. Season 3 is ending in the city of Cleveland. We're going to L.A. We're going to be going out to Atlanta. We're going to Savannah. Hey, we appreciate everybody staying with us. We love our fans. There's so much we're going to do when season 4 starts. I want everybody to know we're going to come back with Lady T. Lady T going to jump into it. And Lady T, what you going to say before we leave?
Well, I want to say thank you for having me, Sean. Always a pleasure, Tony Stone. And I look forward to our journey in season 4.
Tony Stone, the man that's been rocking everything, the Diamond Boy. Hey, Tony Stone, we done got 3 in, and we're going to go for the big 4. We're going to be in Atlanta at the Peach Streets Road Race and then at Olympic Park. You can see us live on July 4th. Tone, what's up?
I might have to get that tatted on me. It's starting to grow on me, Diamond Boy. I like that. It's been a great season, Sean. It's going to be. I'm going to be looking forward to another great season. Season 4 coming up, so y'all stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back with more Stop the Madness, Keep It 100, all the good stuff, all the real stuff for y'all.
Hey, I want to thank J Mac from the shop, Mr. Black, the comedian, Doug Million. Hey, I want to give Saxman, our police correspondent, a shout out. You know, a lot of people worked to let this happen, and our founder, Let, we hope she's resting in heaven and looking down on us and smiling at us. Hey, all the good guests that we had coming on, from Apostle Erkins all the way down to Curtis Orr, Jamar Sheffy. Hey, all the good candidates, Cassandra McDonald, Eric Jonathan Brewer. There's been so many people to show us love. We want to thank you for coming with us. Season 4 is going to be off the hook, and I want you to come out July 13th for the NAACP Euclid branch. Police accountability, and see your boy Shawn L. And as always, peace. See ya.
You've been listening to Stop the Madness, Keep It 100 on STMK Radio 100.